get to enjoy the love and the energy of Sister Dr. Jenna.
Hi, everyone. Temple, thank you so much for welcoming me into your sacred space. And I have to say, it was so vibrant. I just wanted to boogie woogie, but I have 2 left feet. Anyway, good morning to each and every one of you. And I'm absolutely delighted to join your community and to be with you on this Sunday and to have us just basically have an intimate time together. For those of you who are watching at home, please just, get your tea and your coffee. Let's just sit together. For those of you who are at the church, wonderful. We're already seated in a space that we're open to welcome this vibration and this moment together. And it's ironic that the topic that has been selected is mind over matter, which is something that I have found extremely useful for me of recent. Not to say that I haven't been wanting to live it for my life, but I'll go into details more about that. But what I'd like to do is just hold a moment of stillness with everyone this morning and bringing a little meditation, and then us just share our time together and be as strong as we can be for one another and for ourselves. And if you don't mind, I'm inviting you to contemplate for a moment, what would life be like if you decided to stop allowing your mind to be attached to your gender, your name, and your stories? How do you think the soul would feel to be non-attached, but to be filled with love instead? Just for a moment, what would you feel like if you stopped owning your name, your gender, your title, your roles? Let's take a deep breath and just dive into a little meditation. Om Shanti. As I sit here in quiet reflection, I'm reminded how my thoughts create my reality. I've accepted that I am what I am because of what I think. So what if for this moment I choose to let go of my various attachments to physical forms that have limited my potential and my capacity? What if I chose to be free from limitations of thinking? So just for a little while, I invite you to take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And imagine for a moment, what if I no longer had an attachment to my name? How would that feel? What if I let go of the awareness of the gender? What if I let go of the roles that I play, the titles that I own? What if I decided to release thinking of myself as a religion, a language, and nationality. What if I choose to just let go of the name, gender, role, title, religion, language, nationality, and let go of the awareness of the body? How would I feel? Who would think of me in this awareness? And who would I think of? I would think of God. And God's remembrance would fall on me. And I, the living soul, would be completely free. Let me just sit in this moment for a little longer and just be free. Now gently bring back the awareness of your gender, language, nationality, title, role, name, religion, whatever. Bring it back to your awareness and see if you can bring the experience of freedom and peace as you go out into the world and play your various parts. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Now that we've centered ourselves in that place within where the mind can find the strength to be more powerful than matter, I'd like to start off with a personal story. I think it sets everything in context. I'm like Kamala Harris, half Jamaican, half Indian. Vote. But the story is that my mother was orphaned at 7, and she had me at 17. My father's Indian, she's African Caribbean. And I've watched her live a very bruised experience, a bruised life. And yet, in her bruisedness, in what were the factors going on in her mind, for some reason, I was protected. And I'm not sure if that was from my father's side or if it was just her powerful mind, that perhaps the only thing she felt she had of value was me. When she got orphaned at 7, the abuse and the abandonment and horrible stories that I came to hear from her sisters, I've often admired her strength of character. How could she have survived? How did she not end up in a brothel, or how did she not end up on the streets or drugged out? I don't know. How was she able to persevere and keep me protected, get me educated, keep me with values, and give me some sort of an order? So I've thought that without me knowing, I watched my mother's mind play so many games with her But in so many places, or let me just say in one particular place, she was very clear that what she had of value was her daughter, and that she was going to protect with her life. And she did. And so here I am, raised in good old sunny Florida, believing in the ultimate dream of the world. And in my 20s, after acquiring a few nightclubs and enjoying that particular period of life and my beautiful condo and cars and all of that, at about 24, I had a very deep experience of God's light entering my consciousness. It was very interesting, everyone. It was like I'm just carrying on with my business, and then this light just gently comes into my awareness and wakes me up. And same soul in the body, same name, same gender. But when I would look through my eyes, I saw something else. My mind had changed. The thoughts that were percolating in my mind changed completely. And instead of seeing my body, I started to see the soul. Instead of looking at material possessions as my value and my worth, I began to look for the virtues in people, the character of people, the values within myself and the values within other people. And I began to gradually realize that my mind would transcend the physical world and the physical limits of human relations, financial independence or financial meaning. Like if you have a certain amount of money, you're put in a particular category. I started to recognize that the mind, which is a component of the soul, the Atma, had the capacity to create and do so much if it was willing to stay consistent and stay focused. So imagine the story in essence. Being raised with a parent or with parents of this kind of a lineage, having my own independence and responsibilities that I did very well in, and then God's light entering my consciousness and saying, I'm here. It was this very gentle, subtle energy of light that I wouldn't say it told me to awaken, but the love was so sublime and so pure that the love automatically woke me up. So when I woke up and my mind began to transcend my body, my relationships, the way I looked at material wealth, and at that time things were really, really good, I found myself in India on a mountaintop at the Brahma Kumaris, which is my spiritual community, and having a very deep, intimate relationship with the divine. That relationship took me to a place of consciousness that made me realize that I had a choice to think from a place of light, which had the intentions and the motives of thoughts that are governed by benefit. In other words, my thoughts should be beneficial if I'm going to have them. They should benefit you, and they should benefit me, and they should benefit the environment. So I started to understand that more and more. And I recognized that for my mind to transcend matter, it was important for my mind to get used to what it feels like to have thoughts that are governed with purity and peace and love and wisdom. And when I started to get used to that feeling, it became clearer to me when I would have thoughts that were very invested into the human, the physical, the matter, the gender, the skin. What color am I? How does my hair look? What's the car that I'm driving? What's the house? What clothes am I wearing? Who do I have as my partner next to me? What country do I belong to? What's my language? Etc. I found that when I would feed those thoughts more, I would fluctuate. If things weren't going my way because you didn't honor the color of my skin, I would get very perturbed. I would fluctuate with my emotions, and my happiness and sorrow would come and go because you didn't like me for the way I showed you me. And when I would go back to the thoughts that had virtues in it, peace in it, love in it, kindness in it, purity in it, then when I allowed those thoughts to govern through me as a woman, to govern through me as black or white, gay or straight, rich or poor, American or Indian, when these thoughts would govern their way through the physical, it didn't matter if you accepted me or not. It didn't matter if you loved me or not. I was coming from that place where my mind had transcended the physical form. I hope you're getting me. So when we look at ourselves and we recognize that the soul has so much potential, so much capacity, the question is, am I using the energy of the soul more, or am I allowing that energy to be so trapped in matter that I'm so dependent? I'm so dependent with my outside world. So Temple knows about 2 months ago I had a health, first it started with a health crisis. And as I started to process it, it became a health challenge. And as I started to evolve, everyone, and I have to tell you how profound it was for me, as I started to evolve from this health situation, I found it to be a health opportunity. And as I gradually began to take those steps, Temple was praying for me and giving me vibrations. So many of my friends came forward to say, Sister Jenna, we've got your back. Their good wishes, this is from their minds now. Their blessings, this is from the mind. Their pure feelings to see me healthy and okay, that was all I was relying on, the power of their minds. And I will tell you honestly that despite whatever my health situation was, I just said to myself, I know I can do this. I know my mind can get over this. That I even noticed that I'd done a whole bunch of checks and a whole bunch of tests had taken place. And even the situation was starting to reduce. I kept telling my doctors, I'm telling you, I can do this. I kept telling them, just give me some more time. I can do this with my mind. I just know it. Because I believe in the power of thought. And I believe when everyone's collectively also supporting that thought, miracles can happen. As Temple and the gang said earlier on with the three wise ladies, I'm looking for a miracle, and miracles do happen when energy is pure and thoughts are pure. So needless to say, because I'm sensible, I did choose to do my surgery. So I did my surgery on Friday, and here I am with you today. And somebody said something to me today who came over to spend some time with me. And he said, Sister Jenna, I have to tell you, I haven't seen an iota of suffering on your face since this has happened. And in my mind, everyone, I thought to myself, oh, was I supposed to suffer? I hadn't even thought about suffering as an option. Mind over matter. The only thing in my mind is, I've got this. Not only have I got this, I've got Temple, I've got everybody. I've got Caroline, I've got Jean, I've got Connie, I've got Sylvia, I've got all these people. I could give you a million names. Piper, everybody, Elaine, Liz, Heather. They're all praying for me. Santosh, this, Mom, that. I got this, right? Mind over matter. I got this. That I didn't even know that I was supposed to have some sorrow or sadness. I didn't even know. That's mind over matter. And your mind over matter gets stronger when certain situations come to you unexpectedly. It's not what you want. It's not what you're expecting. It's not what you need for sure. But over a long period of time, if you keep serving your mind with the thoughts that are connected to your deepest innate values and your virtues and the purity of your presence and the peace that you are and the love that you are, when certain karmic situations from your past, or it could be a sacrifice, one never knows, but when certain issues come to show you different things, and it's not very pleasant, it, like I said, you can call your situations maybe financial opportunities if you don't have it, or relationship opportunities. It could be a health opportunity. You will need a powerful mind to navigate through this particular period. Very simple story, and you might laugh at me when I'm finished telling you. I'm cooking aloo, no? Aloo, I'm sorry, that's in Hindi. It's potato. I'm cooking potato. By the way, I make a wicked potato and cheese dish. Vegans, I apologize. I really love you, but I'm lactose intolerant, but I can still do cheese. But I'm cooking these potatoes. And it turns out that the potato, the oil splashed a little bit on my hand, just a little spot, nothing major. And you know, you have to sanitize your hands every day now. And it was stinging, man. And then after I sanitize, I'm washing my hands and it's stinging. And the other day I was doing one of my evening talks on spiritual vaccine hour. And I said to myself, how can I, a powerful soul, a powerful Atma, let these two little spots burn me so much that I can feel the suffering? How am I going to manage this surgery? It's an important surgery. And I thought to myself, but the soul is separate from the body. And as I laid in the bed before surgery on Friday, I'm looking up at the ceiling. I'm saying, the body is separate. The soul is the driver. The driver's okay. You take the car in the shop, you get it repaired, and you come out. That's it. That was it. Mind over matter. And that little thing of this little blemish on my hand, I went, how am I going to manage a surgery if I'm feeling the pain of this little burn? And that made me think, you got to transcend your body. You're not your body. You're the soul. And the soul cannot be burned. It cannot be cut. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot die. And there was something so comforting in knowing that that is a reality, that was a truth. So my thoughts and my feelings with you today are from a very genuine and pure place. Take some time in your life and begin to observe what are the patterns of your thinking. How is it serving you? And does it serve matter more, or is it serving you, the soul? Which one? What do you believe in more, thoughts or matter? Because your thoughts eventually manifest into something physical, doesn't it? I've had times where I've sat and I've said, where did this come from? And I could find a million answers, but you know what? That wasn't going to heal me. What was going to heal me is that this is done. This is over. Move on. I've got things to do. I have places to go, people to meet, life to live. And so I ask you to look at yourself. How are you using your thoughts? How are you living your thoughts? Is it serving the physical, my blackness, my whiteness, my Indianness, my religiosityness, my countryness? Is it serving my role, my title? Have you created so many thoughts that you believe you are only a woman. That your whole thought is just, I'm only a woman, I can only do this. I'm a man, I'm American, what's happening to my country? Is that all you are? Is that the only thing that you have to feed? How do we transcend being Americans in this volatile season? An election is coming up. It ain't going to be pretty. How are you planning to approach that? My recommendation is transcend being an American, but be an absolutely noble and virtuous citizen, that your decision and where you vote will come from a place of virtuosity and not of what you think America should be, but how human beings need to be globally, where we bring those values and those virtues. Anytime I think from a place of purity and love and peace and truth, I've transcended matter. My mind has gone totally beyond the matter consciousness. And I'm living my truthful life. I'm being true to myself. You know, everything is about what you think and believe. And I'm speaking to the choir. I think I just want to just reiterate, pay attention to your pattern. Are you feeding the original nature of the self, the soul? Or are you feeling the word of limits? Which one? It's a choice. Choose the power of the mind and see how you'll transcend your life and live it fully. I want to thank Temple and her whole staff, Garrett, everyone, for finding the time and energy to bring me on today, especially during these particular times. Life is so beautiful and unique. There's a lot of confusion, transcend it. There's a lot of fear, transcend it. There's questions, there's doubt, there's anxiety. We're going to have to go beyond it because we're more powerful than the external situation. And each and every one of us, we have to keep believing in that. So even if every day I just nurture the original nature of the soul, I'm love, I am pure, I am peace, I'm powerful. And if you nurture that every day, even just for a few minutes a day, eventually you'll wake up and you'll feel that you're the embodiment of that. And you would have transcended matter and continued your life as it is. So thank you all so much for having me, and lots of love and good wishes to each and every one of you.